And so there are a lot of these jurisdictions where they're telling the cops or the officials are saying, not only are you, not going to cooperate, but that you can get in the way of what the Fed's doing. And I do think the local jurisdictions are going to lose on that point.
Welcome to The Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering and where the story is going next. I'm Sarah Bedford, and I'm here with commentary editor Conn Carroll. Conn, the Examiner wrote an editorial this week about a Colorado law that would, in fact, make it easier for illegal migrants to commit crimes and remain here in the U.S. in Colorado. What is this law?
Yeah, I find it shocking, really, that after all the Democratic Party has gone through on immigration, there are some Democratic states that are trying to make it easier for illegal immigrants to not only stay here, but commit crimes and stay here. So this is a law in Colorado that does a number of things. One, it disallows ICE agents from arresting illegal immigrants on places like public parks, stuff like that. It makes it easier for illegal immigrants to get free college tuition in Colorado. But tucked in this is an item that actually makes it easier for illegal immigrants to basically break the law. What it says is that if you've committed a class 3 misdemeanor, so this would be like soliciting prostitution, DUI, forgery, something like that, and you've entered a guilty plea as an illegal immigrant, you can come back later and withdraw that plea if you say that your lawyer never told you that there was derogatory, it would hurt your immigration status. Mm-hmm. So basically, if you're an illegal immigrant who is in this country, well, illegally, and you believe that a criminal conviction will make it more likely that the Trump administration will come and deport you, you can go back to the court and withdraw your guilty plea, which is something that a citizen of Denver, of Colorado, does not have the right to do. So they're giving extra rights to illegal immigrants, and these are immigrants who, by definition, have broken the law, so that they can make it easier for them to stay in the country. It just blows my mind.
So Colorado essentially making itself, or attempting to make itself, a sanctuary state as well, right? And we have some sanctuary jurisdictions, Chicago, right now getting sued by the Trump DOJ for their refusal to work with immigration authorities and winning so far in court before liberal judges. Mm-hmm. Do you think that the sanctuary cities and states will have a strong legal ground when this ultimately advances above, the liberal judges where the cases are starting?
It's ultimately going to come down to the specifics of each sanctuary policy and what they are and are not doing. So, I mean, you obviously can't have the federal government telling jurisdictions what to do, how to spend their resources, things like that. But you definitely can have them, you can't have them impeding, right? And so there are a lot of these jurisdictions where they're telling the cops or the officials are saying, not only are you, not going to cooperate, but that you can get in the way of what the Fed's doing. And I do think the local jurisdictions are going to lose on that point.
So if we needed further proof that you are a dorky dad, you have written a piece this week about Andor, a Star Wars series.
Yes.
And setting aside the malignment of my personal favorite Star Wars movie, Phantom Menace, that you snuck in to your piece, midichlorians were innovative, you contend that this is actually a conservative piece of public media. Explain that.
Right. So you can't deny the liberal slant, the left slant of Andor. The director himself is kind of a left-wing guy. And the title of my piece is that Andor is conservative art too. So I'm conceding that it does definitely have some leftist element into it, which, it's very anti-authoritarian, very anti-totalitarian. But when you look at a lot of the scenes and themes, there are conservative themes there as well. So a lot of the plot points in the movie have to deal with the empire, which is, after all, a government, being oppressive to, in this case, small businesses. There's a whole, arc point where you have the empire coming in and putting new taxes, new regulations on small businessmen of this planet. And so there's this town hall where these business owners are all complaining about overregulation. And come on, what's more conservative than that? Then you have kind of more that same planet. The writers invented this, obviously fictional, I say national anthem, but it's a planetary anthem. Mm-hmm. But the words of this national anthem are very conservative. They're talking about being born there, and this is our homeland. It's a very nationalistic feel, and it's not like a Workers of the World Unite song, right? They're not saying we need to have the workers of the galaxy unite into some rebellion.
It's not open borders.
Not open borders. It's the opposite of open borders. It was a very kind of a blood and soil nationalist element. And then finally, when I made fun of the Phantom Menace a little bit, there also is an element kind of throughout Star Wars, starting with the first one, of kind of belief versus unbelief, right? And you have the good guys who have faith in the Force and the good side of the Force, and you see this with Luke, who believes, and Han Solo's a little skeptical. And of course, Empire Strikes Back is all about Yoda basically getting Luke to believe, and he's the luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. And so Andor has that same element. The main character Andor is skeptical like Han, but his lover gets him to go see a Force healer, and she does actually heal his blaster wound. And then her wording is basically said, this man has purpose, and the Force is just driving him to his purpose. And so to have a show acknowledge a higher power that plays a role in our lives and gives purpose to our lives, I think is an inherently conservative element that I think any Star Wars fan on the conservative side should enjoy.
I'll have to relay this to my husband. Maybe he'll lift the household ban on watching Andor.
He should.
Well, Conn, thank you so much for being
Absolutely.
here today. You can get more writing from Conn and the rest of the commentary team, washingtonexaminer.com.